Hi, it's Andrea. Now we've seen some new important features of Infra. I wanted to show how to build your Trojans or viruses, as whatever we want, using the repository. So in repository files, here we can see the list of files that we created or also that we attached. Like an email, you can just load a file and put in your list of files. You will have it here. You find it here in repository file. So here there are some example I was working with a Linux binary and a DLL for Windows. But let's do something new. For example, now I was checking. You have a lot of possibilities, different platforms for Windows. Now we're using like a we can do reverse bind TCP, for example. With bind TCP, we need to know the remote host IP, and with reverse TCP, we need to specify our local host. So it's important, obviously, that if we do some particular change, like a platform architecture, it is coherent with what we're doing. So the Windows definitely cannot be Android. It's not the same. So it's Windows, it's not Linux. It says here. So we also can decide not to touch anything if we don't know. Most of these commands are optional. The payload is mandatory. In this case, is mandatory the local host, and output format should be an access. So not really the name, better if you call it exactly like the format, but obviously we're not talking about an elf that is for Linux or Java or something else. So access is the best for Windows. So to be coherent. If you do a next service, we can also decide the name that will show up in the system, and we can add encryption, we can add knobs if we want, encoding, and we can also merge with other files that maybe we have. So at the moment I don't have any other exe files. As we've seen before, I have only Linux files and DLL. We don't merge DLL, only we merge other exe files. So we choose a name that is easy for now, just to remember, file.exe. We can even change the name later in repository. So let's see if there's any problem building it. Now it's verifying all the configuration, is finding the right payload, and then it's compiling in Windows version. So it's enabled correctly. If it's all okay, I should have now in the repository file, I had the file access. So yes, just created this right moment. So I can eventually change the name, and I can eventually even download it. Like, I mean, if you want to examine it, I was downloading a similar one before, so that's right. This is another one. And the important is now is available in my list, also in Hackboard. So when I go to Hackboard, for example, in phishing, if I want to do phishing, I will have the file X now available like the others file that I have. I will do another video for the phishing, just more specific, and now just for let you understand how the repository and factory work. Yeah, well, the files here available in repository, you can always remove them, change name, just analyze. And we can do attachment. With attachment, this is also a special feature that in general we can check the security of the file in something automated. So basically we can do the code check before to add to the repo. So it's checking the quality of the code, if it's possible to read the code. Imagine just a script like a bash or Python or whatever. It's really checking the code, analyzing many kind of technologies, since COBOL to the most modern Python and Java. And after that we can add to the repo. Also is checking for virus, like scanning with an antivirus, and if it's all okay we can just adding it, and there's no problem. we can just find it in the repository file.